Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this webinar on Shompole Wilderness and the hides that we experience there. Thank you very much for giving me an hour of your time. I'll tell you a few things. I'm going to tell you where it is. We're going to go through what a typical day looks like. I'm going to tell you about the hides. I'm going to talk to you about suggested equipment that you must bring. And I'm going to show you some images that I shot over the 10 nights that I was there. Severely sleep deprived, I would mention, but I'll share that with you. You'll see over my right shoulder, there's some images running there in no particular order. It's just to give you an idea of the type of sightings that were there and that we managed to get. So, don't crit me on any of the specific editing, etc. It's just to give you an idea and the feel for the place. Right, so where is Shompole? Shompole is in the southern Rift Valley in Kenya. And specifically, it is in an area that is a Maasai area. And the owner, Johan Toy, worked with the Maasai staff there and the people in the area, and they determined the best place to put a photographic hide. These hides are not on the migration path of the Great Migration as you would know it, but I can assure you that makes no difference. So you can see where it is. It's a short flight from Nairobi in a private charter. If you're with us, we've got exclusive use of the hides, 2 hides and 1 hide in the camp itself. So as you will see, the accommodation when you are there, which is not going to be too often, is beautiful. Beautiful sleeping tents that they've got there. The pool area is magnificent. So for the few hours that you are there during the day, you'll sleep there and you can enjoy the pool if you decide to do so. When you are there for a longer period of time, it's probably advisable to say, okay, after the second full night in the hides, let's take 1 night and possibly just stay at the camp and not go out. But anyway, let me take you through a typical day. You basically private charter into Shompole. They collect you. You go to the actual Shompole lodge, get assigned your tent. From there, grab your camera gear, and then it's a short walk down to the river. And we get to do our own crossing twice in 24 hours, where we get on this little boat and they'll just draw us across the river where we'll collect the vehicle on the other side. And from there, it's a short 10, 15-minute drive to various hides. You can see it's quite fun. This is now just returning from the returning side in the morning. Just walk down this little embankment onto the boat and you're off. So what do these hides look like? So there's 2 hides. The one is more a plains hide. So you can see there's vast open areas where the animals come from everywhere. You can't believe the number of animals that actually arrive there and the variety of animals that arrive there. So that's where you will be for a period from about, I would say, 3:30 in the afternoon till about 9 o'clock in the morning. And then we leave and we go back to the camp via the little boat for a nice brunch, shower, sleep, and then it's repeat again the afternoon from about 3:30. So the second hide is a newer hide that was built, shall I say, it's called a Kichaka hide, which is, it's not as open as this one. And that one was specifically built by Johan so the smaller predators can actually come down and feel safe and don't feel unsafe like this in these vast open areas. And there you'll typically have things like the caracal, African wildcat, mongoose, smaller type of animals. And it doesn't say that you don't get the big animals. The elephants turn up, zebras, the giraffes, vast numbers of animals do turn up there. So inside the hide, these are the 2 hides. You can see very comfortable. There's a light setup. There's some beds that you can grab a few hours in a hot bed. There's this side, shall I say, it's the main area where you actually photograph from. You could set 6 photographers in here. The Maasai guide would sit in the middle there. He would operate the lights, and there's enough space on both sides, 3 photographers on each side. But we'll split it up. If we are 8 in total in the group, we'll split it out, one night in the one hide, one night in the other hide. And behind this area is another area where there are beds and where they serve food and so on. What's in the hides? Gimbals, bean bags, enough PowerPoints, there's Starlink internet. You can stay in touch. Bunk beds on both sides. There's a toilet, there's running water. There are enough fans in the 2 hides to make sure that that white noise, the animals are used to that white noise, and it also muffles some of the sounds that you do make. For the guys, snoring doesn't matter, so they don't run away. So you are free to sleep a little bit. And then there's unique lighting adjustment that you can do from within the hide. So what do we suggest you take? I say the maximum lens that you probably need in the day for the larger animals, you won't need more than a 300mm. If the elephants turn up and the buffaloes, then you're looking at anything in a range from 24 to 120, which would be perfect. I was predominantly shooting a 24-105 and a 70-200 2.8 during the night. That's perfectly sufficient. And then during the day, if you want to get some nice close-ups and shoot the birds, because there are plenty birds, then the 200, 600 would be perfect. Anything up to a 600 would be fine. So hide photography, what did we get? So much. So in terms of mammals, and I didn't even list all the birds on the next slide, but mammals, baboons, elephant, giraffe, impala, lions, warthog, wildebeest, zebra, civet, eland. You can read the list for yourself. These are all the animals that turn up there. And it's not over a 10 night. Many of these animals turn up every night. I didn't see the leopard at the one hide when it did turn up, but the group of our clients that were there, they actually got some very nice photographs of the young leopard that turned up. At the other hide, at the Kichaka hide, caracal, serval, cheetah, these animals all turn up on that side as well. Birds, I just listed a few. Some of these birds are also new to me, but you can see, I mean, strange birds that are on there, like pygmy kingfishers, woodland kingfisher. I mean, you'll be sitting in the hide during the day photographing something, and the next moment you'll just see the splash in front of you and try and track whatever went out, and it would be either a pygmy or woodlands kingfisher. So many cutthroat finches, so many doves, namakwa doves, fire finches, many, grey-headed silverbirds, many. And at night we were fortunate to get some eagle owls, spotted thickney, plenty of bats. You would think that they are a problem, but not. They take care of all those little insects. And then there's the nightjars. The nightjars present incredible challenges. So you can try and photograph them, high ISOs, etc. And occasionally, I say it's a bird of 1,000 shots. Occasionally one does stick and you do get something that's clear. Hopefully I'll show you 1 or 2 of them. Every hide has its own book, and in there the guide or whoever's awake would make a note to say what time, what animal turned up, the number of animals, and you would keep record that way. So as you can see here, these are just 3 days, and it's not 1 or 2 animals that turn up. I mean, if you have looked there from 5 o'clock in the morning, you had warthogs, impalas, elephants. I'm not going to read the list. You can read the list. Lots of civet activity, giraffes, buffaloes, lions. I think on the 2 trips that we were there, we had lions most nights. And it's just spectacular because it's 8 to 9 meters away, the furthest edge of the water. And these animals are quite used to the activity in the hides, and they really don't care. They'll come and drink. Some of the animals are a little bit more skittish, like the zebras, but the majority of the animals are fine. Lots of hyena activity as well. And when you get to the Kichaka hide, then you have, as I said, the African wildcat, you have striped hyenas, caracal, some of the smaller animals that turn up there. One of the clients that was there, he photographed for the first time Egyptian mongoose, a pair of them that turned up. So before we get there, let me just share some images with you, and it's going to be random. I'm going to start here with one of my special sightings, which was the African wildcat that turned up at the Kichaka Hide. So you can see you're relatively close, and this was a 7200 shot as well. Still wary, you have to be super quiet sometimes in the hides, not to make unnecessary noises, but the hides are also muffled, there's carpeting, and the Kichaka hide specifically also has carpeting on the area in front of you that you rest your camera on. So you can see super beautiful wildcat. Then baboons, they mostly turn up at the plains hide in their numbers, huge numbers. You can see the dust there around them, also very close. Come in, come and drink, and then they just move off. And you listen out for them at night when they're in the trees and they make a noise, you know the leopards or the lions are around. Just tried some images in the black and white here as well. Then bat-eared foxes, well, I was very happy that they turned up. It's not always that you get the bat-eared foxes and the Khalakadi, and sometimes they're at distance. And these guys have got super good hearing, but they still allow to photograph them and come close. So the lighting in the hides, you have lighting, it's almost a fill light, and then you have a front light that you can switch on. And in the plains hide, you also have what you see here, which is a backlight. So a few meters from the water's edge, there's a strip light, and the dust that these animals kick up, as soon as you switch on that light and you dim the other lights, then you get some fantastic shots. It'll become more apparent when I show you some of the elephant shots just now. Buffaloes also huge numbers turned up the one night. And they're sometimes a little bit skittish for the backlight. You can see the backlight's on there, and we've got a bit of light from the right-hand side. Here we've turned off most of the lights just to get that effect of all this dust. I mean, it looks like smoke, but that dust is just so fine. And there were probably about 40 of them that night that turned up there. So as the lights go down and you keep on shooting, I mean, obviously your shutter speed falls through the floor, but you keep on and you get some incredibly interesting shots. These are just the insects and so on flying around. In many of the shots, you'll also see strange, almost alien figures, but those are the bats that fly around. So you can see another example of the lighting, almost from the front, dimmed the front lights, got some light on the back, got a very soft light from the left. But you can see from these different images the kind of lighting and so on that you can get. I mean, here backlight's off, side light is nearly off on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we put some light on the buffalo. This one's got more light on him. And then if you switch everything off once again, it becomes very interesting, the kind of shots that you get. See the bat over there? For me, this was very special. The civets. The civets come in a hurry, they drink, and then they just run off. And then I think the last night I was there, we had 7 different civets that came in to drink. And you see also playing around with the lighting, and a bit more sensitive to the lighting, so they don't hang around once they've drunk. But certainly animals that I have never photographed before. Not in this kind of light, in this environment. We had this big boy turn up one night in the eland. You can see with the lighting, and then we've turned off some of the lights just to make it a bit more dramatic. I think you'll see it here on the elephants now, much more in terms of where the different lights come from. There are 3 big boys, actually 4. The one is called Old Grumpy, he hasn't got any tusks. Big floppy ears, you'll see him just now. But you can see that, I mean, this isn't in Photoshop and dodged and burned, etc. This is how the light fell, and you keep on shooting at the low shutter speeds, you get some sharp images. You see this one more. full light from the right. Here's old Grumpy. Huge animals. And I mean, he's close. He's like 6 meters away. Here you'll see very nicely the effect of the lights. So we've got him in the same position. And then once we switch off the lights and everything slows down, you have the water and so on cascading beautifully. This, once again, these two elephants, light backlighting only. And then we switched on some side lighting and a little bit of front lights, and then just a little bit of full light on these guys. You can see the different lighting on these animals. Early morning at the Kichaka hide, we wanted to leave. old Grumpy turned up, gave a good display. Beautiful. This is again at the Plains hide. Two big boys that arrived, and then the third one also came a bit later. You see early morning, old Grumpy. And then here you have them right up against the hide. This one actually splashed us on the right, but you can see the lighting as it falls. We try and keep it low there. Once again, slower shutter speeds as the lighting is changed. Very close to us. Switch off most of the lights, just keep the one on the right. You have slow shutter speeds. There's the third one that turned up. But the lighting just allows you the most magnificent options to choose from. I mean, you fill a card with these elephants there and playing around with the light, and they don't care. They're there, they come there for their drink. You don't bother them, and they are massive. I mean, this guy didn't like the buffalo, so he was chasing the buffaloes around there. But once again, I mean, it's night, and what the cameras and lenses can do nowadays is just phenomenal. And you can shoot at higher ISOs. So I hope you get an idea on the elephants. Giraffes, also fantastic opportunities that you get. There are so many of them that arrived and make for very interesting shots. The Kichaka hide, you can see the bushes behind. Plains hide, early morning. Again, Kichaka hide. Start to switch off some of the lights. You get a very, very slow shutter speed once again, and all the water droplets that cascading from his head. It's just fantastic. This one was even slower. Looked like some alien animal, but you know, I like it. It's not something I shoot every day. You can see here, the guys are very, very close. And you've got a water buck coming in there, and this is at the Kichaka hide. Also Kichaka hide, so fantastic pairing of them. Nice symmetry. Once again, just from the back, a little bit of backlight on these guys to get the silhouettes. And you can really play around. And the guides, they know their story with the lights. So they will definitely help you. As I said, we had lions most of the nights, and super close. I mean, there were 6 or 7 the one night. You can see a few youngsters. That one tore down our lights the one night, the one looking at us. A little bit of backlighting, full light in the front plus the backlighting. So he just stepped on the other side of the backlight. And these guys are almost playing on top of the strip light there. Where you can see super, super close. 7200 lenses work absolutely fantastic. The 2 big females and some of the younger boys there. There's 2 big males also in the vicinity. We didn't see them on our outings, but they did turn up before and after, as well as the cheetahs. The early morning, trying to stalk a giraffe, these youngsters, not very good. So here's my birds of 1,000 shots. The nightjars, they fly around and then they just swoop down, mouths full of water. I don't know if it's bugs or they just come and drink because They've been eating so many bugs. So that one actually came from the sand straight at you. This was more towards probably about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning when night had just broken. But extremely rewarding to catch those guys. They're not something you expect to see, but this is our guide, Jonathan. And if it was a bit quiet, Jonathan said, well, why doesn't he just go and have a walk and kick up some dust? We can get some nice shots. And it really made for some great photography. Really enjoyed it. And so did he. At least he's got his stick to ward off the lions. And then these hyenas, there are many hyenas. You'll have many visits during the night. And yeah, they don't care about the lights, and they'll really make for some nice photography. You can see some backlighting shots. This was just from the front. They just barged in, chased off the giraffes. Nice. And these are probably some of my favorite shots of the 10 days. That guy just absolutely looking at you. You've got the backlight on, a little bit of fill light from the right, and really, really rewarding photography. And this is in full light then again. Little bit of backlight. So at the Kichaka hide, which is closer to the bushes, and you have the more elusive animals like the striped hyena, they like to come to that area. And it's also an animal that I'd never photographed before, certainly not as close. One of the specials on the birds at both hides, these Vero's eagle owls turn up. Absolutely stunning. Well, that was just a shot to see if I could get something out of it. Needs some work. But you can see this is also at the Kichaka hide, super close. Those pink eyelids. And one thing that you'll also see a lot around are the warthogs. So at the hide in camp, which is, it's not on the level that of the other hides, but it's close to the water, and a lot of birds. You can see the guinea fowl in the back. And these guys just come and bathe there. Super close shots of the warthogs. This is at the plains hide. Always some nice action with them, bringing their own oxpeckers along. And this guy with the weirdest hairdo that we've seen. So he looks angry. This is also early morning. One of the other nice animals that I hadn't photographed properly before was the white-tailed mongoose. Also Kichaka hide, and they like to come and drink on that side. You can see also super relaxed. Lastly, I'm just going to go through a few zebra images. So many of them that turn up, both at the plains hide and at the Kichaka hide. And then at the plains hide, the stallions just fought one afternoon. Early morning again. You'll see there that the photography is just incredible. The number of animals that turn up there is really, really spectacular. You know, you won't get a lot of rest, that I can promise you. So you'll go lie down, and then somebody will come and shake you and say there are hyenas coming, or there's giraffe, or the lions, or whatever. And then you must decide if you have enough lion or whatever shots. You're going to miss this one. But after a few days, you've got a lot of images in your portfolio. Even big birds. I'm just seeing here, Corey bustard. In the afternoons, we had Corey bustards that came and drank. We had secretary birds that came around. So, yeah, fantastic. So, upcoming trips. We were fortunate for 2026. We filled all our spaces in 2025. 2026, we've got a new trip. That was in March. That one is also fully booked, which opened 2 seats in August. So that's what I have available in August. And then 2027, we've just added 2027. So go to our website, DM me, talk to Nico, and we can see where we can fit you in. It's an unbelievable place. I'm just going to scroll through this very slowly and just highlight a few things. You mentioned the light setup that opens numerous photographic opportunities. You had so many different species, and the travel arrangements were stress-free. So thank you for that. We tried to get that right. Mariam, very eloquent with the words, dazzling parade of wildlife, well-placed lighting. And this was their first visit to Africa. And then they arrived here. We were in the Mara with them, and then they arrived at Shompole, and they were absolutely blown away. So once again, the lighting, the staff, the accommodation, they just loved that. Mike, unique photographic hides. So the emphasis is on night wildlife photography. I did, however, want to go a little bit earlier in the afternoon, that we leave at 3:30 and get there, that we've still got about 2 hours or so of daylight photography left, because on the 1 or 2 days that we left a little bit later or arrived at the hide a little bit later, the elephants were already there. So we tried to get there before them, which we did. Deeply rewarding, Terry. Thank you very much. You say, as a serious photographer and traveler, but even for a novice, you're going to add photographs to your portfolio that you would never have thought possible. And as you said, the hides were exceptionally comfortable. We eat our dinner there. They pack us cool boxes with the drinks of our choice. Karen, unique safari. Yeah, Karen also didn't want to sleep, just taking every opportunity, and glad we organized it well for you. Diane, also one of the ladies, first time in Africa, and she really hung in there. She really didn't want to go and sleep, even though she only had a little DSLR camera, but she hung in there to the end until she hit the wall and she had to go and sleep a while. As she say, life-changing, unimaginable, the lighting, so all of that. Thank you, Diane. How many people do we take this year and next year? I think we're still on between 6 and 8 people, 6 people. And then 2027, they're building a 7th tent. So then we'll go to 8 people. Private charter there, so your luggage, you are not on 15 kilos, you go up to 25 kilos, so you don't have to leave any of those lenses of yours behind. You're not going to need any flash, you're not going to need tripods, so you just bring your camera and your lenses. Number of guests per trip, okay, between 6 and 8, Toby. As I said, both hides can comfortably accommodate 6 photographers per hide per night. So we're not there on 12, we're either 6 or we're 8 persons. How do you manage the lighting decisions with 6 photographers? You don't. You don't, but so whoever's in charge there of the lights, if it's the guide, he will switch and so on, and so you will just keep on firing. It happens so quick, the transition between the different lighting, that you don't have time to think and set that up. It will be done for you, and I'm sure you'll be very happy. Does anyone use an iPhone? Absolutely. The one lady, this Diane that I just mentioned, she was shooting the Mara and Shompole just with her iPhone, and she really had some spectacular photos. Best during dry season, what are the results with unexpected rain? Unexpected rain, I've seen some images that they've taken there where you've had a little bit of a shower, and it really makes for great photos as well with the rain coming down. I mentioned a shower. This is not your annual rains, so it will rain for a little bit and then it's gone, just so the dust settles a little bit. And who decides for the different lights? The guide that sits there, he's got enough experience to know if the animals are drinking from the left or the right, or if they are coming over the lights in the back. Should he switch them on? Shouldn't he? Which animals are more sensitive to lighting changes than others? So he knows his story. In many images with reflections, the water looks clear. Does the fact that the first water is out in the open mean there are less issues with pollen and debris that needs a lot of cleaning and post-processing? I don't think I've cleaned one image, not in any one of the any one of the hides, any one of the images that I shot, and I probably had 60, 70,000 images. I didn't need to do one. The water reflection or the lights don't really reflect on the water. We try and keep the reflection off the water as far as possible. And you can set that. And we did ask the guide when he does these light setup to just lift them a little bit to ensure that we've got a dark base in front of us. Can you also advise on solo travelers, as in are there single supplements? No single supplement. When we go, we take the whole camp. You're more than welcome as a solo traveler. Can you download files at the hide? Absolutely. So between the two parts of the hide, there's a curtain, so you can go and sit in the back, and there's power, etc. So I did this so many times during each night just to go and download because I was filling cards up faster than I had cards. And there's definitely a place in the back where you can go and sit. Just keep your screen brightness down a little bit, but your normal downloading and so on is perfect, no problem. It's a stunning place. I mean, Johan would tell you when you land there that dust was probably, I mean, they would make a lot of money if they exported that stuff. It's just everywhere. But I bought a little one of these blowers. So at the end of each session, before I go back, I just blow off all my equipment. I didn't have issues with dust inside the hide because we've got fans that are blowing inside and basically pushing the dust out. That mountain you see in the back there is called Shompole Mountain, and it makes for a fantastic backdrop. And you can spot animals coming from a long way off through the dust, making a big dust cloud. Guinea fowl like you won't believe. I mean, you can see in the back here, even the little birds and so on that we shot. It's such a nice challenge to get them. All the cutthroat finches and silverbills. So in the hides itself, I mean, as I said, you've got the plains hide. You can see for miles. You have the larger animals turn up in their numbers, but the experience is fantastic. You bring a little headlamp or so just to find your way during the night. And the Kichaka hide, I just find it more secretive. You sit there and the next moment you'll see an animal just pop out of nowhere, and you've got a civet or something that's come to drink, or that African wildcat, or the Vero's eagle owl. And it's fantastic. And I tell you what, even at that Kichaka hide, when the sun rises and you get the different sandgrouse that turn up there together with the doves and all the other birds, it's spectacular photography. You just keep going. And we leave there at about, I would say, 8:30ish in the morning, 9 o'clock, go back to the lodge, and you have a fantastic brunch, just enough that you go for a shower and sleep for a few hours. But the food is brilliant. The staff are fantastic. It's really a very, very nice experience. Oh, can you make videos? Yes, of course you can make videos. I shoot video from time to time. I leave my iPhone there on a little tripod or my gimbal and do some videos that way, or some time lapses. That always makes for interesting viewing afterwards. You've got some gimbals there, etc., that you can steady your camera on, or you do your bean bags. How do you decide which hide you go? So normally we just say that it's one night in the one night in the other. Some clients will ask to be in a specific hide, like the Kichaka hide, because they specifically want to video civets and some of the smaller animals, which we'll try and accommodate. As I say, if we're a group of 8 and everybody wants to go to the one hide, then 2 of us will go to the other hide. So not to crowd everybody. But it's normally one night here, one night in the other hide. Um, what's this last one? The 4 days? Okay. So yeah, so I mean, you can see here from the timestamps that we write down here. If the guide goes to bed, then whoever's awake needs to take the book and record what arrives. And that's it. I think for me, I'd really, really recommend this. If it's something that you like to do from a nature photography point of view, you want to add to your portfolio, you want the incredible experience, then this is most certainly something to do. You can see by the 2026, 27 or 25, 26 bookings, I mean, these filled up so quickly. So I leave it to you to decide. Happy to talk to you some more. And then I would like to say thank you very much for your time, offering up your time. I hope it's been insightful, and do come and join us. Thank you very much.